what we pushing with this Bible, bro, is just a total reformation of the black man and black woman in society. Because this Bible, bro, we've been having it in our households all our lives, but we never really knew what it was talking about. Like, we never really got the true understanding. You gotta think about that. It's a church every 3 blocks in the black community, but what has really changed in our community? They're not really giving us the true solutions. What they're giving us is a washed down doctrine that they've gotten from their fathers. They came from the slave owners that we was on the plantations with.
Devices of devils to slow us up, but if we're on the Sabbath, we showing up. All praise to the Father, He hold us up. We holy, that mean that we separate. Heathen be raising, that mean that they desperate. They know the prophecy time of the.
So one of our goals, first and foremost, is to educate us on who we are. Because if you ask 5 different black people who we are, they'll tell you 5 different answers. You got one that'll tell you African American, somebody tell you a Moor, somebody tell you the original man, all this stuff we done heard. So now we gotta know, who are we? All right, that's the first thing. But our main goal is to us come back together as a nation. We too divided right now, which is why we falling for anything. We don't know who we are, we don't know where we come from, and we don't know how to get out of the conditions that we live in. So our main goal is first educate us on who we are according to the scriptures, and then the solutions to how we fix the problems in our neighborhoods.
I feel a lot of things in the community is you come with mentors and guides. I feel personally, growing up in this community. At one point in time, we lost a lot of that in the community. A lot of young men were misled. Started making a lot of bad decisions, and got them in things that they shouldn't be involved in. But if they would have had certain type of mentors or father figures around, that they could have had made better choices.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, first thing, get 1 Corinthians 11. This is something that has been removed, like you said, been removed out of the household. And in today's society, we don't feel like, it's been pushed that happy wife, happy life. The mama, if you look at all the structures, everybody falls back to big mama. There's always a big mama in the family that runs everything, or that one strong auntie that runs everything. But watch this. This is how it's supposed to be from the beginning. 11:3.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
So that's a structure that was set up. It's supposed to be God, Christ, man, and then the woman. Now, a lot of people hear that and they say we male chauvinists and all that stuff. But no, if you think about it, there's certain things that a father in the household offers that a mother can't offer. For instance, that man, he's going to teach the sons, the daughters how to move more logically. How to think things through and how to assess the problem and then fix it. Whereas a mother, she's more geared towards nurturing, the nurturing side, teaching them how to deal with their emotions and all that type of stuff. There's different roles in the household. Now, we're not saying that neither one of them is less important, but no, they both need it. That's the structure of a household. That's the reason why God set it up like that, because both aspects are needed in order to raise a functional and fully trained child in society. Because if you got a child that's raised, that's getting more of the emotional side all their life and don't get conflict resolution or the logical side of thinking, what's going to happen with that kid?
You don't have problems processing a lot of things in the world.
Exactly. And if you look at the statistics, more than half of the men in jail right now grew up in a single parent household. And it's all a result of that. So both sides is needed to raise and bring forth a functional household. How do we achieve that? We got to start first get Hebrews 13. How we achieve that first and foremost is realizing that we need each other. If you look at the struggle of our household, it's always man against the woman. When you look at society, it's set up man against the woman. But we need each other. You can't bring forth a nation if you don't have for husbands and wives.
Sean, let me hit her real quick first.
Hebrews 13:4. I got you. Hebrews 13:4.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
So God's been saying from the very beginning, marriage is honorable. A lot of times what we see out here, we get men running around trying to hit as many women as they can. But that's destroying our communities, because you think about going back to the prison statistics, more than 40% of men in jail are in there because of issues related to a woman. So we got to start honoring marriage again, bro. Stop coming out here trying to get our body counts up as young men. Stop teaching our young men to do that. You know, once we start,
I agree to that. I think we also should point that out to the young women.
Yep, you're right.
Young women, you know, when you think about it, when you really get to the depths of it, right? Women are the ones who choose who's having sex. We choose who we marry. They choose who they pick for sex. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't gonna open it up for us, we ain't making it happen unless we gonna force them. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So who we really teaching it needs to be more them. You see what I'm saying? Because the structure ain't sometimes for us. Like really, the structure is being lost sometimes at home with them as well, and their native mothers. See what I'm saying? The next thing you know, for the past 30 years, the mothers that's been raising our boys. Look at their boys, that's how everything changed over the past 30 years. Statistically, it's shown it's being real bad lately. You know what I'm saying? I do the same thing you do, just to be honest with you. I do the same thing.
I 100% agree with you. But I would say to that point though, as you said that women have access to sex and men give access to marriage, right? What if we stop allowing just anything? Us as men, you say, you know what? I know all you're gonna try to control me with what you got between your legs. So I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna take back the power from you. Now I'm gonna take back who got access to sex. And I'm not gonna give nothing to you until we get married. If we did that, we reversed those roles like that, we can take back over the roles that we're supposed to have. But a lot of times, us as men, we'll go out our way thinking with the wrong head just to get that. If we step back and be like, you know what, I'm gonna change my values. I'm not gonna do nothing until I prove that you somebody that I want to be with. And then if we do that, how much different would things be?
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Because scriptures tell you, bro, a man will go out his wits to have sex with a woman. We got to stop dumbing ourselves down just to get that one thing and start really taking back our position in society and realizing that. But that goes back to that family structure. You got a father teaching his son, like, bro, don't go out here and doing all this crazy stuff for women because they will have you in a trick bag. That's where that father figure comes in the household. Feel what I'm saying?
That don't know how to be fathers. Also,
You right.
Just because you have a kid don't mean not a good father. Maybe that young man may dealt with some various things in his life. Prohibit him from doing the things to represent him better as a father. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he needs some type of father and mentor program or some type of guidance in that area. It's not always about just being around, providing for your kid. It's about how you spend your time with your kid also, and the type of information that you teach your kids.
I agree.
So all that's very valuable.
I agree. And that's one thing, like I said, when what we pushing with this Bible, bro, is just a total reformation of the black man and black woman in society. Because this Bible, bro, we've been having it in our households all our lives, but we never really knew what it was talking about. Like, we never really got the true understanding. You got to think about that. It's a church every 3 blocks in the black community, but what has really changed in our communities? They're not really giving us the true solutions. What they're giving us is a washed down doctrine that they've gotten from their fathers. They came from the slave owners that we was on the plantations with. All right, so when you actually re-examine the truth about this Bible, bro, it's about correction. It's about reproof, which is like, reproof is also correction, teaching us how to move in society. It's about accountability, which is something us as black men, bro, to be honest, we hate when another man look like us hold us accountable. You got a very few that'll listen and say, you know what, you're right. But as a majority of us, bro, we don't like accountability, which is why there's so much chaos in our neighborhoods. But to your point, you said a lot of times fathers don't know how to be a father because all of us, we learn it on the fly. All right, but the good thing about that, we have counselors. This Bible, we have men that's been doing it for longer than us that's teaching us the right way to do it. Watch, get Sirach 44. Sirach 44:1. So I agree, man. Before I had kids, I didn't have a father figure. I grew up in a single parent household. So I had to learn from other men that's more experienced than me on how to move, you know, how to get guidance on how to raise kids up the right way. And it takes a village, bro. That old saying is real. It takes a village to raise a family.
It do. You most definitely want to surround yourself and gravitate to that type of environment. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's gonna make you a better man. But it's like, what do our young men really choose in life? You know what I'm saying? Some of them choose to do the right thing, some don't choose the right thing. But it's important that we start making our young men focus on the more positive things and the more structure of that, is what you said. You know what I'm saying? Because without that, you know what I'm saying, our kids wouldn't have no future.
And a lot of that too is all our kids grown up seeing, because even me, when I was young, all I grew up knowing was either I'm going to be an athlete, somebody can go into music, or in the streets. Them was really the only options we saw. A lot of us didn't want to grow up wanting to be lawyers or doctors because that wasn't our environment. That's wasn't how we grew up. That wasn't the people we had around us. So all our hope is in being an athlete. You got to be better than the next man at catching a football or shooting a basketball, or being a rapper or a singer. That's all the stuff we saw. That's all the stuff we glorified because that's all that was pushed in our neighborhoods.
I'm not gonna say those are limited options. But we need to give our young black people more options to choose. You know what I'm saying? More different than what we had.
Right.
It's getting harder in the world, you know what I'm saying? It's about to get harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, now a lot of people go to school for stuff and they don't graduate and get out and work in that field. It's a lot of that going on more and more. But there are good paying jobs though. But it's just like where direction the world is really changing. You know what I'm saying? Because you grew up one way, structured to think one way, go to school, get a good education, get a good job. Now that's not the case. You get a good job without going to college, or you can go to trade school. But but a lot of it's just what you choose to do in life.
Right. And I want to jump. Let's read the scripture real quick. Gotcha.
The book of Sirach, chapter 44 and verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding, and declaring prophecies.
So that's one thing that once we came back into the understanding of who we truly are, bro, and we started getting under men of counsel, it said famous men. These men became famous because of their example, how they've been walking, what they've been showing and teaching us that's been coming to pass. All right, because before, like I said, we didn't have father figures, but once we came into the understanding of who we are, our leadership, and that's one thing, we don't just trust men because they in a position. We got the understanding of who these men are by proving them, by their works, by their fruits. That's how you can tell who a man really is, by the things he says and what comes to pass off of what he says. So our leadership, they've been showing us by the example for all these years, bro, and that's who we learn from, and they showing us how to walk. So that's how a lot of us learn how to become fathers, how to become better men in this society, actually having a focus, a mindset. But yeah, there's more to it. Keep going.
Verse 4, leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people.
By their knowledge of learning meet for the people, meaning they've gone through these things and they've actually proven what works according to the scriptures, and that's what they apply and that's what they teach us. So we have, like you said, we have father figures. Even us, we have father figures that's been in this thing longer than us. All right, we always look at age as, oh man, that man, he may be 45 years old. You know, I can't learn from him. But no, you can learn from him just because how long he's been enduring in his truth and the understanding of the Bible. All right, and that's what we have to look up to.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.